Okay, see, here we go. So section E, subsection removing band-aids. So as we said, it is for sure, especially in men and in the hands, for sure is going to pull out some hair, right? It is forbidden to pull a band-aid of the hairy place of the body. There is the back, for example, back of the hand on Shabbos, since some hair inevitably come out in the process. Like, doesn't matter what you do, you're careful, you're extra careful, because this band-aid is very sticky. So right. So again, so when we deal with band-aid, it's inevitably 100% that you're going to pull out some hair. Okay. If the band-aid must be removed because it is causing pain, it is causing pain, because an ointment must be applied to the wound, or because one needs to immerse in the mikveh. One needs to immerse in the mikveh. A Gentile should be asked to remove it. If no Gentile is available, one is permitted to remove the band-aid carefully. Okay, so let me quickly see if there is continuation. No continuation. So let's do this. Let's do this piece. Okay, so it's, as I said, it's very practical. Practical when the person had a band-aid, for sure it's going to pull out some hair. So, but now we're talking about cases of necessity. So, in cases of necessity, it's causing pain. I'm not sure why a band-aid is causing pain. Maybe some discomfort, right? Maybe it's like shifted or something, but causing pain, I'm not sure. But of course, okay, let's say causing pain. Or I think the second one is more practical, right? You need to apply a new ointment, right? Because it like some antibiotic or something, right? Right on the wound. Ointment must be applied on the wound. So meaning that somebody asked me. So I explained to that person. So if it's possible, just unfortunately, you know, some people they have such a terrible diseases. It's very, very sad, right? And like very painful just to see what these people are coming through, right? So I advise that person because he's very highly professional. So is it possible? So there is a piece like where it's have a like pad, right? It does not stick anyway to the skin. So if it's possible to stick something like ointment under the things and just squeeze it. So I said it would be better, like because the band-aid is the same. I mean, it sticks good. There is no problem with band-aid. The only reason he wants to remove this band-aid on Shabbos is because he needs new ointment. So many times you can do it without removing band-aid, right? So that's my personal solution. Right, advice. I mean, if it's possible. If not possible, that's a different story, right? Or because one needs to immerse in the mikveh. So the way I understand, one needs to immerse in the mikveh. We're talking about a woman, not a man. I mean, even the man wants to immerse in the mikveh. He can immerse in the mikveh. I don't think this band-aid is a problem, because it's not the immersion for. Of course, it is chatzitza, it's separation, but it's not as critical as for a woman. Yeah, a woman might need to go to a mikveh on Friday night. Right, and Friday night, guess what? Friday night is Shabbos already. So, and she forgot to remove this bandage, but it's her night. She must immerse, right? So in this case, if there's a Gentile, meaning ask if not, permitted to remove band-aid carefully. But this careful, schmerful, I mean, for men, it's for sure it's going to pull out some hair. Okay. But at least, like, first we try to do everything possible. So, and of course, a person cannot be like a cow or something. Right? We have to, prepare in advance, as as the verse goes, and we have a video about it. The Torah said, and bring and bring the sacrifice. I don't remember exactly the wording from the animal. You have to bring from the beast or something. I don't remember the wording, but the point is that who they call a beast. Beast, the one who, like, even the person is a beast himself, that he did this avera and now he has to bring the sacrifice. There were two explanations, and first explanation is why Torah calls somebody a beast. Somebody wants to bring a sacrifice because of what he did inevitably. You call him an animal, like why call an animal? Somebody did something and unintentionally he turned on lights on Shabbos unintentionally, like you call him beast. That's not nice, right? But Torah, of course, nice, and HaShem is very, very nice. So he calls somebody a beast, and there is our rabbis explain, because even though he did it inevitably, but he did not pay attention. Who else does not pay attention? A cow that walks like without paying attention. Understand? So if cow steps on something, you put some you put your cell phone down. I don't know. You want to like tie your shoelaces and you put your cell phone down, right? And you're busy and cow steps. Nothing, right? Does the owner of the cow has to compensate? Absolutely not. Cow does whatever it does. It just walks. Right, but if person steps on, so maybe he has to pay. Like it depends where it was, like private domain, public domain. But the point is that we cannot be like a cow. So the reason he did this avera is not, of course, it was an intention, but he was not paying attention, and it's very big problem. People do not pay attention what's going on around them. Right, about their relationships with HaShem and their relationship with other people as well. Okay.